2/3 of plastic food containers we set aside are burnt or sent to landfill. 2/3 of plastic pots, tubs and trays recycled by families are burnt or go to landfill. Town halls admitted last night that only a third of the 525,000 tons they collect from households can actually be reused. The black plastic in ready meal packs is hard to process, according to the local government association. It said margarine tubs and yogurt pots made from polypropylene were extremely difficult to recycle. And it cited major problems with fruit and vegetable punnets and bakery goods trays. The Daily Mail, which campaigns against plastic pollution, today reveals that waste from British families ended up in a dump in Poland that caught fire, causing a major pollution scandal. The Tippins Gyres is subject to an investigation by prosecutors amid claims that UK rubbish is being exported cheaply on the pretext of being recycled when it is either dumped in landfill or burned. The LGA surveyed councils to determine their recycling rates for rigid plastic pots, tubs and trays. These make up almost half of household plastic waste, the rest mainly being plastic bottles. The resulting analysis, which is published today, shows that local authorities are recycling only 169,145 tons out of the 525,000 ton annual total. It claimed councils had done all they could to tackle plastic waste, with 99% of them collecting plastic bottles for recycling and 77% picking up pots, tubs and trays. Judith Blake of the LGA said, "It's time for manufacturers to stop letting a smorgasbord of unrecyclable and damaging plastic flow into our environment. We've been calling for producers of unrecyclable material to develop a plan to stop this from entering the environment for years. That needs to happen urgently. But the government should now consider banning low-grade plastics, particularly those for single use, in order to increase recycling." Britain is on the verge of burning more waste than it recycles for the first time, with some councils sending more than 80% of rubbish for incineration. An international league table last year revealed that England has one of the worst recycling rates in the developed world, coming 18th in a comparison of nations on recycling efficiency. The proportion of waste incinerated by English councils has risen fourfold in a decade. The LGA's analysis was challenged by the Recycling Association and waste reduction charity WRAP. The two groups said polypropylene was easy to recycle, with a strong market for the material paying £200 a ton. They also said fruit and vegetable punnets were mostly made from a plastic used in water bottles and easily recycled. The recycling specialists also challenged the claim that bakery goods trays were a problem. However, they supported the LGA's concerns over polystyrene and black plastic, which is hard to recycle because lasers cannot pick it out from other rubbish. The LGA insisted 60% of tubs were hard to recycle, as was the case with many fruit and vegetable punnets. A Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs spokesman said, "Our recycling rates are rising, less waste is now sent to landfill and separate food waste collections are increasing." However, there is much more to do. That's why we are working with industry to improve the nation's recycling rates further, including by making more products recyclable. Stephen Hunt, of the British Plastics Federation, said, "The LGA may be surprised to learn how closely our aims and objectives align to theirs, and we would be delighted to work more closely with local authorities to discuss waste management issues." Whilst the volume of plastics packaging that is recycled, including pots, tubs and trays, continues to increase year on year, more can clearly be done. We have long been calling for standardized collection schemes,